Welcome back, everybody. So it is that time again. Three more ghost stories that come out of the county of Wiltshire, and today I'm starting with Malmesbury's Old Bell Hotel. So the Old Bell Hotel is said to be the oldest in Britain, with origins stretching as far back as the 13th century. As might be expected, a number of paranormal events have been claimed there over the years, but one of the most frequently reported is the sight of a grey lady said to linger in one of the rooms. They say if you say grey lady 3 times, it is said to summon her. So it's an interesting story. Okay, I don't know this ghost story. This is the first time I read it. I know of the building itself, and I'm sure there's other paranormal sightings within this building. Whether saying the Grey Lady 3 times will actually summon her, I'm a little bit skeptical on. I have to be honest with you on that one. But whether there's a Grey Lady there, yeah, I can quite believe it. Like I said, it stretched back to the 13th century. I'm sure there's more ghosts there than just this Grey Lady. So like I said in the write-up, is that it is the most frequently reported. I'd like to actually go there, to actually visit there, possibly even investigate, you never know. It's a really interesting story, and I'd like to get to know a little bit more. When I was doing the research on this, there is quite a lot of history to this building, but to get this into these 3 ghost stories into a video which is less than 10 minutes long, I've had to condense this story down quite quickly. Even still, I'd like to go and visit there. I'd like to see how I feel, what kind of a vibe I get from this pub, or hotel I should say. So next up is Westwood Manor, Bradford-on-Avon. So, set in the peaceful Wiltshire countryside, this 15th century manor house has remained largely unchanged. A former tenant claimed there was a ghost at Westwood, a very unpleasant spirit that takes the shape of a headless spectre that would wander the house at night. Other stories consist of a curse. The story goes that the manor was once the home of a magistrate who caught and sentenced a gypsy for poaching. Hearing of her husband's arrest, his enraged wife marched up onto the magistrate, cursing the house and his family. Shortly after, the family started to have misfortune and left the house. The curse is said to endured, with reports of mysterious fires and violent deaths. This is the first time I've heard of this story. This is the first time I've heard of this building as well. I find it very, very interesting. I wouldn't like to experience a curse in any way, shape or form, but I would love to go there to go and see if I can investigate this headless spirit or headless spectre. It's really, really interesting. The place looks absolutely amazing. It really, really does. I'd like to just go there just for a walk around again, just to see what kind of feel and vibe I got from this place. But ideally, I'd love to investigate there. The curse side of it, I would actually leave alone, because I don't want to be on the receiving end of any kind of curses, because I am a little bit superstitious. But even still, it's a great little story. I'm glad I found this one, and yeah, I would really just love to investigate this place quite a lot. Okay, so last of all is Lydiard House in Swindon. So in 1420, Oliver St. John acquired Lydiard House, and successive generations of his family would rebuild and remodel this house until 1937, where the house and grounds were purchased by the Swindon Corporation. The main predominant ghost is the ghost of Sir John St. John, whose life was beset by tragedy after losing 3 of his sons in the English Civil War. They were all killed in the conflict. Sir John's ghost is a frequent visitor to Lydiard House, where he is seen in the morning room and the adjoining library. His appearance results in an alarming drop of temperature, followed by the strong smell of sweet tobacco. There are other ghost sightings attached to Lydiard House as well, which include like a drummer boy and other apparitions. To include also, there is a church very, very nearby called St. Mary's Church, and there are very consistent reports of apparitions being seen in the church grounds. This is a really cool story, okay? I've been to Lydiard House once. I've never been inside, but I've been around in the grounds. The ghost story, or the main ghost story of Sir John St. John, is really, really intriguing. It's not surprising that he cannot rest with the amount of tragedy he had in his life. It's not something that you quite easily forget, and I'm sure that stays with you for a very, well, forever, to be honest with you. I don't know how I would actually deal with that myself, but I'm pretty sure it would result in a lot of emotion, and it just, overwhelming emotion. And like I said, it's not surprising that he cannot rest and he keeps going back to visit Lydia's house. Would I investigate Lydia's house? Yes, I absolutely would. Would I investigate St. Mary's Church? Absolutely. Strictly because there are some very consistent reports of apparitions being seen in the church and in the church grounds. So that alone would be worthy of an investigation. Out of all the locations in this list, I have not heard of any team that's actually investigated any of these buildings. But if you have, please let me know. Put it in the comments down below. But yeah, I would, even if I don't investigate any of these places, I'd just like to go there to see what kind of feel or vibe that I would actually get from these places. Because these stories this week, I think, are actually really cool. And I would love to investigate a lot more. And there's a lot of history on each one of these, but where I had to condense this video down into a video which is less than 10 minutes, I'd like to go into more of the history of it, but say if I ever got a chance to go, say, even investigate St. Mary's Church, I'd include that into the investigation. So, there's another 3 more ghost stories that come out of Wiltshire. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. I also hope that everybody has a great rest of your day, whatever you're doing. Please take care, and goodbye.